Hi everyone, welcome to Nursing Guru, myself Ansu. Today in this video we are going to discuss about the subject sociology. Nowadays, first year semester students, you are going to attempt both the psychology as well as sociology, combinedly psychosociology. So why we are doing this video today means, so in the coming months, you are going to write the university exam of psychosociology. So in that you will be having 3 hours of examination. In that 3 hours, the first section is for sociology and the second section is for psychology. So it will be 1.5 hours as well as 1.5 hours. So in the first section, you will be writing the sociology exam, and in the sociology exam, you are going to attend out of 37 marks. So in these 37 marks, you have to attend one 10-mark question, as well as there will be 3 5-mark questions, that is the short essay, and there will be very short answers, and it will be 3, and each carries 2 marks. And at last you have to attend multiple choice questions. It will be having options and each of carries 1 marks. Before going to attend the exam, we need to study for the exam, or we need to prepare for the exam, right? So in that, today we will be discussing detailedly about the sociology. First, we need to know what is the term meaning sociology. So here I am going to divide the sociology into 2. The first one is socio and the second one is ology. Socio means nothing but that is society only, and the ology term meaning study of. We are going to study about something. So when we are combining together, here the term meaning sociology, that is the study of society. And again, more specifically, if we want to tell a definition for sociology, that is we are studying about the society as well as the individuals who are there in the society and the interaction among themselves. As a nursing student, you will be having a doubt that why we need to study the sociology in nursing. We know that in nursing we are going to deal with the patients, or we are going to deal with the medical field or the medicines or the biological sciences we are dealing with. But what is the necessity to learn the sociology in nursing? So there is a thing that is nothing but in the sociology, not only we are going to study about the society, not only we are going to study about the individuals, but also the concepts of sociology and how we can implement such concepts of sociology in the community, and as well as the social institutions in India. For example, the family, the simplest social institution, that is the family, and as well as the educational system, and as well as the politics, etc. And such social institutions, how it is helping or how it is affecting the illness of the individual, and how it is affecting the health status of the individual, and how it is affecting or what is the role of nurse in dealing with the sociology. And when we are going to the syllabus of sociology, there you are going to study 11 topics, or the 11 units you will be having. And in each of the 11 units, you are going to study the different areas where or how the sociology affects the community. Now we are going to see the units which is included in sociology. The first one is introduction chapter. In the introduction, we have to study the definition of sociology and the nature of sociology, the scope of sociology, and such scopes how we are going to utilize in the nursing. Okay, so in your given textbooks, so there will be so many definitions. So in that, which one is very easiest for you, that you can select and you can write it for the examinations. And who has proposed and who has stated the definition, that also you have to include. So it will be very useful to score the more marks. So in the introduction chapter, you can expect for 2-mark questions, or you can expect these for the short essays questions. Okay, from the introduction chapter, we can expect for 2-mark questions as well as 5-mark question. If it is 5-mark question, they will be asking the scope of sociology and how the scopes are utilizing in the nursing field. And if it is 2-mark question, they will be asking definition of sociology. And don't forget that when you are writing the definition, you must include who has written or who has stated the definition. And now here, the second chapter, that is individual and society. Here you are going to study about the nature of society as well as the nature of human or the nature of individuals, and how the responsibilities of the individual has been committed to the society. From the individual and society, from the second chapter also, you can ask for 2 marks, or you can ask for the short answers. So in the second unit, as we have already discussed before, we will be discussing about the socialization. Socialization means nothing but we are molding an individual according to the culture of that particular society or where we are living. So the socialization, which is very important for your university exam, they may ask it for 2 marks as well as they may ask it for 5 marks. Suppose if they are asking the socialization topic for 5 marks, you have to write what is the definition of socialization as well as what are the characteristics of the socialization and how can we implement or how we can mold a person or an individual according to the particular society. And here the third unit, that is culture. So when you are studying about the culture, we know that as we are living in the India, we are dealing with, or we are from the childhood we are seeing so many cultures, or we are experiencing so many cultures, and what are the nature of such cultures and from where it has been implemented or who has implemented such cultures. All those things we are going to deal with, or we are going to study from the third unit. And from the third unit, that culture, we can expect for maximum 5 mark questions, or we can expect for short essays. You can expect the questions for 10 mark also, or for long essay also. So in that you have to include the diversity of the culture, which means the differences of the culture which has been there in the, or now recently present in the India. Or we know that there are 29 states are there in India now, and each of the 29 states are having different types of cultures or different types of traditions. So you have to write the differences of each cultures as well as the uniformity of the culture. Not only there is a differences, but also there will be similarities in each of the cultures. And if there is similarities, how it is affecting the health of an individual, or how it is leading to the illness of an individual. So these things you have to learn from the third unit, that is culture. And here the fourth unit, that is social groups and processes. So these social groups and processes, which is very important topic you have to study in the sociology. So in the social groups, so from the name itself we can understand that we are including so many groups in the society, or we are going to see, or we are going to identify how many groups are present in the society. For example, if I am giving, there is a primary group as well as a secondary group, or there is an in group as well as there is an out group. For example, we can take the family as a primary group, or we can take the family as an in group. So we know that in the family there will be only limited number of members, father, mother, or the parents, the children, the siblings or the cousins or the grandparents, so on, so there will be there. And among the primary group members or among the family members, there will be a close relationship as well as there will be a long term or long period of relationship. But in case of secondary group of people, or in case of out group of people apart from the family, for example neighbors or the religious groups or the political parties, so these things we can take an example for the out group or the secondary groups. So from the social groups also you can expect 10 mark question or a long essay, as well as we can expect short essay question or 5 marks also. And here the fifth unit, that is population. So in the population also we are going to study the definition of population and the characteristics of population and the nature of population and the differences between population which is present in each of the countries or in each of the communities. The population chapter also very important for your university exam. Sure, they will be asking 1 10 mark or either 1 5 marks from the population chapter. And not only the definition or not only the characteristics, not only the types we are studying, but also we are studying the population explosion also, which means the overcrowding of the India or overcrowding of the country, that is the population explosion. Okay, so we have taken the census in the last year, but even after the corona also we couldn't take the censuses. So nowadays, or if we are taking the calculation or if we are taking the statistics, now India is the most populated country. So if there is population explosion, what was the causes of the population explosion, and what was the effect, what will be the effect of population explosion, and if there is population explosion, what was the effect, we have already discussed. And if the effect means, when we are discussing about the effects of population explosion, how it is affecting the individual who are living in a particular country or in a particular area. For example, there will be suffering, or they will be finding difficulty to find out the land for constructing the buildings, and there will be poverty, there will be illiteracy, Why? Because if there is more members in a family, the family members or the parents are struggling to raise up their children in a very good manner or in a very well manner. Sometimes all the children, they may not get the equal education, or all the children, they may not get the opportunity to go for the works. So many problems may arise when there is a population explosion. And how, as a nurse, what are the things we can do to reduce or to prevent the population explosion? For example, we can provide the health education for the community people. We can provide the awareness classes regarding the family planning techniques. So many, as a nurse, so many things we can do to prevent or to reduce the population explosion. So from the population chapter also, we can predict or we can expect for 10 mark question or 5 mark question. And not only the 10 mark or 5 mark, they may ask for 2 marks questions also, like the definition or the characteristics or the criteria of population explosion, or what are the prevention as a nurse we can take for the to reduce the population explosion. And here the 6th unit, that is family and marriage. So that is an interesting topic as a teenagers. So here the family and marriage. So how many types of families are there, or what are the types of marriages, or what is mean by marriage, or what is mean by family, or in a family how many members, what are the types of members will be there, or when we are conducting or when we are giving or when we are taking for a marriage, so how many agreements or who all are there to agree the marriage. We know that what is the meaning of marriage. We know that that is the agreement between two individuals, or that is the agreement between two families to unite together. So all these things you have to learn from the marriage as well as the family. And not only about the marriage, not only about the family, we have to learn about the patriarchy, or we have to learn about the matriarchy. Which means if it is patriarchy, the hereditary or the traditions or all the wealth which is coming or which is transferring from the father to the son or to the grandson. And if it is matriarchy, all the wealth or all the properties will be transferring to the daughter or to the granddaughter. And here the 7th unit, that is social stratification. So in the social stratification, we are going to study about the caste system, caste, class, creed, about we are studying, and as well as the criteria of such caste system, and how we have classified each caste, or how we have classified each races or each creeds. And the classification of caste system or the classification of creed or races, which is very important for the university exam. So they may ask for 5 mark, or it may come as a short essay question. And here the 8th unit, that is types of communities in India. Types of communities in India. For example, rural community or urban community. What do you mean by rural community? Rural community means nothing but a group of people who is living in a very limited area, and there is limited facilities, there is limited education. And if it is about urban population or the urban community, the people who are living in the town or in the city area with good facilities, with good education, with well opportunities, etc. Here the types of communities which is present in the India also very important for your university exam. And the 9th chapter or the 9th unit, that is social change. So in the social change, we are going to study again about the culture, means the cultural changes, or we know that as we are living in the India, we know that the India is a diverse country, or the India has a huge diversity among ourselves. We know that as we are living in the Kerala, or as we are living in the Karnataka, or as we are living in any of the state, we are having our own particular hereditary or our own particular culture or tradition. So each of the traditions or each of the cultures which is differ from one person to another person, or one family to another family, or which differ from one state to another state. So what are the cultural changes and what are the cultural lags and the theories or the acts or the laws related to the social changes? For example, the Malthusian theory, etc. Who has stated the Malthusian theory and what they have tried to convince in the Malthusian theory, and how we can or wherever we can implement the Malthusian theory in nowadays. So everything we have to discuss in this 9th chapter. And this Malthusian theory, which is very important for university exam, that also for the 5 marks or as a short essay. And here the next chapter, that is social control. So in the social control, we are going to study about the political norms or as well as the political properties, and we are going to study about the legal things or the educational norms, values, etc. So here we are going to study about the whole acts which is given by the Indian government, or the norms or the values given by the tradition, and about the political parties, about the political systems also we are going to study, and the education, how the education which has been differ from the one country to another country or one state to another state, what are the syllabuses which we are including in a particular educational system, and what all are the, or who all are the authorized people who is in a institution or is in a educational system. In this social control chapter, so you may they may ask for the social norms or the social values for 5 marks or as a short essay, and here it is the last unit, that is social problems. So just by listening or just by hearing the unit name itself, we can understand that we are going to study about the problems or the current situations of the country or of the society. So in the social problems, we are going to detailing, or we are going to find out the whole problems or the situations or the difficulties the individuals or the society people who are facing with or they are going through. So for example, if we are taking the social problem, there is a illiteracy. So here most of the people nowadays, they are getting the education, but still a small percentage of the people, they are living in the society with zero knowledge or with zero literacy, or we can say they are the illiterate people, maybe because of they don't have the economic status or they don't have the money to go for or to go and get the education, and if their parents are poor or if they are not able to afford the educational things for their children, they will become the illiterate people. And not only that, the poverty also, because of the socio-economic poor status or the, so there will be hierarchy in the economic status. We know that above poverty line, below poverty line, the middle class, we know that already. So the main problem related to the illiteracy or related to the poverty, that is the economic or the financial status only. And the next thing, that is housing also, which comes under the poor socio-economic status. And again the prostitution. So nowadays prostitution, the rate of prostitution which is increasing in our country. Why? Because there is less opportunity for other jobs. So the woman or nowadays the male also, they are going for the prostitution. Why? Because they doesn't have the another opportunities, or they are not getting the opportunities for the another field or the another jobs or are the another working areas. So one more example we can take for the social problem, that is the vulnerable groups. For example, physically challenged people, those who are deaf, those who are blind, those who are handicapped, and those who are critically ill or those who are seriously ill people, and as well as those who are orphans, and as well as the elders people or the elderly people. So there is nobody is to take care of the such people. As we all know that the India is a developing country, but still these are the areas where the people doesn't getting or they are not getting any kind of development in their life or in their lifestyle. So in such areas, if we are focusing on such area, we can find out more and more problems apart from these. So as a nurse, what are the things we can provide to raise up the vulnerable groups or the vulnerable people? Or as a nurse, what are the health education or what are the awarenesses we can provide to the society to change their mentality, as well as not only the financially well people and not only the literate people, but also the vulnerable groups also should get the development as how the other people are getting. So as a nurse, what are the things we can do to help the vulnerable groups? Or as a nurse, how we can prevent or how we can reduce the social problems which our country is facing nowadays or our society is facing nowadays. So these are the whole 11 units you are going through the sociology in the first semester. There is a benefit or there is an advantage of studying the sociology, and as well as there is an advantage of writing sociology in exam. That is nothing but, instead of studying the things, if you are understanding the concept, or if you are understanding the types, or if you are understanding characteristics, or if they are understanding the thing what the people are going to convince, if you are understanding that properly, we can write the answers by our own words. No need to by heart the textbookal words. We can write it by our own words so that you can score more mark or maximum mark in your university exam. So please don't forget that out of 37 marks, you have to write or you have to attend one 10-mark question, and there will be 3 5-mark questions, and there will be 3 2-mark questions, and also there will be 6 1-mark questions. That is a multiple choice questions. So instead of nowadays the students, they are going behind or they are running behind the blueprints. So instead of running behind the blueprint, if you are going through the syllabus, the whole syllabus, you can get the maximum mark. Till now we were discussing about the whole sociology. That means we have discussed about the syllabus, the whole 11 units, and what are the contents of each units and how much of marks we can expect from each of the units. And don't forget that we have to write out of 37, and that also the sociology exam we are going to attempt for 1.5 hours. Within these 1.5 hours, you have to attend the whole questions as well as answers. I hope that you got a brief idea regarding how to approach the subject sociology, or how to study or how to prepare for the sociology exam or the university exam. I hope that this video will be very useful for your upcoming exam, and I wish you to get a good marks in sociology. If you have liked the video, please download the app Nursing Guru, subscribe it, like it and share it. Please, if you have any doubts, you can comment it down below.